Hi everybody. Oh, hi everybody watching on catch up. Sorry, I'm not going to be able to really. Hang on. Look at my lovely bird for a minute. My iPad's decided it keeps playing up at the minute. I'm sorry. Look at the bird I did yesterday. Hi everybody. I am here. I'm just trying to get my my iPad has decided to turn off and I can't see the chat, so I will get it up on the computer behind me so at least I can see what everybody's saying. So not prepared. Right, where am I? There we go. Right, let me turn the volume down, otherwise I need to join my chat session. Right, hi Francis. Hi Kay. Go on. Okay, right. Okay, I'm here. I'm not going to paint the bed this morning, so I'm putting that away because I've got the builders coming and they're going to fix my roof that is falling apart. So I've decided to do a quick one on watercolor textures. Hi Natalie, hi Mark, hi Terry, hi Stephen, hi Dora. So I decided to do something that was going to be quick and beneficial to people watching. I'm sorry if I don't answer your I haven't got my charger down here either, which is annoying, your questions straight away because I have to turn around. So, sorry, I'm just trying to see if my iPad is going to come on. I don't know. Right here I've got some watercolor paper. It's £140 cold press paper. Hi Dew. Who else I haven't said? Hi Harmony. Hi Susan. I think I've sort of caught up. Yeah, excuse me if I don't answer you straight away because my thing's behind me. Anyway, so I thought I'd do some watercolor textures today. So I've got some ink here which acts the same as watercolor, more or less, but I'm using this because it shows up more than anything. Right, I think I've got my iPad's working. Yes, that's better. Right, I'm just going to put some water down. The first one I'm going to test, somebody asked me to show the salt effect up close. So I've just got normal table salt here. And I'm just going to put down the black ink there. And I'm just going to, it works best if, hi Dr. Glenda. You wait for it to soak into the paper a bit and the sheen is just starting to go. And whilst I'm waiting for that to happen, I'll do a little bit more ink here and I will show you my bleach that I use now. I use household bleach and I dilute it and I put it in one of these. That's not bleach, that one's soap. And I put it in one of these little squidgy bottle things, so I've got a little bit of control of where it goes. So I'm just going to drop that in there and it gives that lovely balloony wash back effect. Yeah, just, oops, can you see that? How lovely. That's just household bleach diluted, which is really nice. And here I'm going to sprinkle some salt. So I'm just sprinkling it on. And you have to leave it, don't use a hairdryer or anything, you have to leave it to dry naturally. I will come back to that and show you what that's done. The next one I'm going to use is, let me see, let me just put down some watercolour. I mean, different paints act slightly different to the things you do. that makes sense. Some paints react more than others, and I know this ink gives a really nice reaction, so I'm using this as a tester thing for you, but you might not get the same reaction on sorry, on other paints. Some of it would be won't be as dramatic. This does a nice dramatic look, which I like. Now this is Windsor Granulation Medium, and I haven't got around to making my own yet. I'm going to try, but I haven't had time. So I'm just going to drop this into this, and I have to just leave it and see what lovely things it does. It sort of tries to separate the it's got a bit of the pigments and makes it all granular and nice. So we'll come back to that when it's dried in a bit. I did do a video using that the other day, which was nice. What shall I do next? I think I will use, you see me, I can't find my sandpaper, right? You see me using sandpaper a lot with my watercolour pencils. So I'll just paint, I'll show you what texture it gives, because sometimes it's not obvious when I'm using it. So I'm just going to use some clean water. This might not be clean because I've forgotten to change my water again. Hi Caroline. So I'm just going to do some circles in water, just paint them on here. You'll see me use all these things to create textures when I paint. So this is just a normal water soluble pencil. Now this is quite coarse grit sandpaper, but if you haven't got that, you can use a nail file or anything. It doesn't really matter. Anything that, because it's already doing it, anything that shaves off the pencil. So I'm just gonna, you'll see different colours on here because I've got bits of colour on the paper, on the sandpaper. So that's where you see it spreading a bit more, that's where I put the water down, and if I blow it will come off of the dry paper and that's the effect you get. Let me just zoom in a bit so you can see that a bit closer. See, it gives you a nice like speckledy thing. You can use that for lots of effects, and I'm going to use it in the birds to give them a bit of texture on their bellies and things. Which one shall we use next? I'm going to use the alcohol next, which does react similar to the bleach. This is just rubbing alcohol, I think you call it. Don't take any notice of the bottle. This was the Tom Holtz or Jim Holtz, whatever his name is, alcohol blending solution, but you can buy it cheaper just by rubbing alcohol, or you can use nail varnish remover, or you can even just use alcohol like vodka or something like that, or gin. I'm just going to drop this on here, and you can see this gives a more of a prominent circle sort of glow to it. You can water it down as well, which gives a weird effect sometimes because the alcohol evaporates quicker than the water, and that gives you that effect. And what shall I do down here? What do I use a lot when I'm painting? I'm trying to think. You can, Mrs. T, you can use the one you can drink. You can use vodka, that works. Works the same. Nail varnish remover, acetone, works the same as well. Rubbing alcohol, stuff you clean like for wounds and things. like to clean the skin. But you can probably buy it tattoos, like tattoo studios use it to clean the skin before they tattoo you and everything. So things like that. It's good if you use vodka or gin because you can have a little tipple whilst you're painting as well. I've forgotten what I was going to do here. Anyway, I've got some gum arabic, but I'm not sure if I've got space. What texture was I going to do here? I've forgotten. Oh yeah, I was just going to drop in water. Because that does have an effect as well. And you'll see me dropping in water all the time. Natalie, you don't understand at all. Sorry. I use water, and then I'll show you what you'll probably see me using this a lot as well. This is blotting paper, like the kind you use when you're doing like calligraphy writing. It used to be used a lot when people had ink pens and you'd blot over the writing. So it's very absorbent like paper, but what I like is you can fold it and get nice lines. This works really well when you're wanting to put like grasses in the background. And then I like to use it to like blot out lines. This is a bit wet, so it's not going to work exactly right. It works better when it's a bit drier, but you can see what I mean. You can create it just soaks up all the paint. Oh yeah, soapy water. It has this is soapy water in here. I forgot about that one. This is soapy water in here. I've just grated some hand soap into here and just shaking it up and let it all dissolve into there. And I'll put it on this bit that I've got water on. It should sort of it's a very much like the bleach in a way. But it pushes the paint. It doesn't work on all paint, but it still has like a really lovely effect. So the soap just disperses the pigment of the. I'm sure there's some sort of scientific name for it, but it gives. This looks really lovely. They look like dandelion. See, if I use dandelions. Just drawing stems for them. There's lots of techniques you can use. The gum arabic, let me see if I've got a little space. Oh, I may put it on another bit of paper. Have I got a spare bit of paper to hand? Yes, I have. This is a little postcard thing. Oh. Let me just show you the salt and the. It hasn't quite dried yet. It does. If you use salt, it does take quite a long time to dry. Let me just. This is the salt effect. You can see the salt sucks all the moisture out of the paint, and you get this lovely starry effect. I'll come back to it a bit later, but you can see it just starting to happen. It is really lovely to mess around with. You get sometimes it acts different. You can use what was I going to say? Yeah, this coarser salt like sea salt, and it gives a slightly different effect. And this here is the granulation medium. You can see it's starting to granulate and like separate the pigments. Excuse my horrible fingers, I've got gardening hands in a minute. I'll just do the other texture. Sorry, my iPad's like completely given up, so I'm trying to look behind me at the comments. Right, I'll just show you the gum arabic. It makes the watercolour, I don't know, the way I use it, I don't know how you're supposed to use it. I've got absolutely no idea, but I'll just tell you what I do with it. Because it makes the watercolour quite viscous, and it makes it last, so it takes longer to dry, and it gets, I don't know, and if you've got a colour that bleeds, did I have it close up? Let me just zoom in a little bit so you can see a bit better. When the colour bleeds onto the paper, it slows it down, if that makes sense. Or maybe I'll just show you. I'll just show you anyway. I'm just going to put a bit of water on this and then stick my brushes. Let's choose. Back to my trusty brush here. I'm going to just dip the brush in there and slop some on. See, it's quite gloopy and gloopy. And it's like, it's really, sometimes it leaves a sheen as well on your paper, and it, I don't know, like crackles sometimes, but it's weird stuff. I'm going to play with it. I've got no idea what it's made of. It's probably made of some horrible animal bone or something. So now I'm just dropping in the watercolour, and you can see it slows the spread of the watercolour down, so you get these lovely weird things happening, which I quite like, and I use it in backgrounds quite a bit because I like the way it spludges. It doesn't mess up your brush or anything. Well, I don't think it does anyway. It's water soluble, so it washes off. But I'd remember to sort of wash your brush straight away. So that's the sort of effect it has. I don't know if you can tell. It sort of slows the process of the spread down a bit, so you get a nice textury stuff happening. And that's really pretty, and I like it. It's quite cool. So if you want, go and play with that. I don't know how you're meant to use it. I've got no idea, but I just use it like that. Yeah, go and experiment. Kerry, it was gum arabic. I'm not even going to look to see what it's made of. It probably hasn't got what it's made of in here, but I don't want to know. Yeah, it's really nice, the effects you can get with it. Anyway, I'm conscious of the time, and my builders will be arriving soon, I think. So I'm going to say goodbye to everybody, and tomorrow I will be painting the song thrush in the book, so just carry on, and I'll probably use some of the textures that I've done today. So thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.